Hey guys, it's Bridget and welcome back to my channel. Hope you're all having an awesome day. And today's video is going to be a little ranty, okay? Today we're going to be doing a look together using the RawBeautyKristi and Colourpop at Forest Sight eyeshadow palette, as well as the liner and one of these Super Shock shadows. I recently did a video where I did first impressions of this palette. I'll leave it linked down below. And things did not go that well. I did not really love it. Some of it was good, some of it was iffy at best. And today we're going to talk about why things like that and people's reaction is why influencers don't want to review other influencer products. And I'm going to complain, to be honest. So get ready for that. Of course, these are my personal opinions. If we disagree on anything, it's cool. It's just makeup. It's not that serious. And let's go ahead and get started. We'll also do a comparison at the end of the video with Jeffree Star's Androgyny palette. Just get a feel for what people are saying about them being very similar shades. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and get started. This is what my base looks like right now. It's actually pretty good. I must say, my skin is going through it right now. So if you guys can help me out, like down below, I'm not the best skincare person in the world. I try my best. And it's been doing really well lately. My skin isn't perfect. Then like the last couple days, I usually get like a dry patch or two. Like, you know, I'm used to it. But I have really rough textured and kind of painful skin on this side of my face lately. And then on my lips, they feel like they want to peel, but I can't get them to. So if you guys know how to like even a scrub didn't really help. If you guys know how to make your skin really just like peel, that'd be great. Let me know down below. But let's go ahead and get started. So my eyelids are already primed. I actually put a light shadow underneath my brow bone area just so that's already set, because I had a lot of complaints that I should have already done it in my last video. But I want to talk today about why I'm not going to do a 3 looks video and why it's so hard for me to get behind reviewing other influencers' brands, even though I really want to, and like collabs and stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and dip into the palette. I'm going to take the Old Growth kind of muted pink color shade and tap it off. This is an E38, I believe. Yeah, E35 actually, from Sigma brush. I'm going to buff this over my crease. But honestly, okay, so I was going to do a 3 looks video because I really wanted to like do a thorough review of this palette since so many people bought it and everyone's hyped up about it. But it is so hard as a YouTuber to talk about other YouTubers' products. And that may sound weird, but one, like, people are going to say one thing or the other. People did not like in my first impressions video, which I'll leave a link down below, that I didn't like how my look turned out. And I thought the green, the darker bluey greeny shade was hard to blend. And it honestly was. And everyone else is like, everyone else loves, like, so many people in my comment section were really supportive. Okay, let me say that first. A lot of you were really supportive and understanding of like where I was coming from with that problem. And then a lot of people were like, you didn't like this from the start. You just want to complain about it. Everyone else loves it but you. Blah, 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 blah. Maybe it's just you. Did you do this? Was your eyelid prime? Even though I said it was in the video. Everyone loves it but you. You don't know what you're doing. How can you be on YouTube reviewing stuff if you can't make this palette work? And like, it's just so much crap over me not liking how something blended, which is just stupid, honestly. Now, a lot of people are going to be jumpy and critical and stuff over me having an issue with something a YouTuber they love created, right? But it's not like it's the influencer's fault if a shadow performs not the best in the absolute world. There's obviously a reason certain brands avoid certain colors, and Colourpop has avoided these, like the ivy green and the bluey green kind of color a lot, even though they have like a lot of monochromatic palettes. This isn't typically a shade they go for. Maybe it's because their formula isn't absolutely perfect, but it's the color Kristi wanted in the palette, so that's what they did for her, which, I mean, I really appreciate them actually doing the colors someone wanted, which is great. But just because one of your favorite influencers created it doesn't mean it's absolutely perfect, and it's okay, okay? But don't criticize someone for having a different experience with a palette that you probably haven't even tried yourself yet. I'm going to dip into Rainier now, mix with a little bit of Puffball. I'm going to add this to the crease. I just feel like as a YouTuber myself, I'm going to get flack whether I love something, and especially if I don't, if another influencer created it. If I love it, I'm sucking up. I'm sucking up to that creator. Which honestly, after my not so great review of this palette, I watched everyone else's reviews of it, and like a lot of people who mostly talked about how happy they were for Kristi and mostly talked about how much they love her and not so much the quality of the product itself. I was focusing on the quality. They were really, I mean, this is really what happens, and then sometimes I really think you can't help it as a human being that you get so swept up in, oh my gosh, this person created it. I love this person so much. I'm so happy to have this brand new thing. And it's going to be so good for views, blah, 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 blah. And you just love that creator, so you want to support them. And then you lose track of the quality of the product. And that sucks. I feel like a lot of us should, like I try to do this as every review, focus on the quality of the product. If I love the theme or I love the person behind it, I'm going to let you know. Because I'm like a person like everybody else, I'm going to let you know if like I'm biased. Like let's say it's a Gwen Stefani thing. I'm probably going to be biased, y'all. I freaking love Gwen Stefani. So I will tell you like if I'm biased by something. But the fact that everyone is giving this palette 1000% amazing reviews and mostly focusing on how happy they are for Kristi instead of the quality of the product isn't the most beneficial thing in the world. Be happy for her. She deserves it. I was very happy for her. That's why I decided on launch day I was going to buy this sucker, and I was like all over the website in that queue line waiting to check out. Because I knew I wanted it and I wanted to support her. But the fact that I can't say that the quality isn't my favorite thing in the world without getting crap for it is just bogus, you know? People take things, I'm gonna take Homegrown and put on the outer corner. People take things way too seriously when it comes to makeup. Just because I had a bad experience with it doesn't mean you will. Maybe you'll find a way to make it work. Maybe you'll go heavier handed and like cover every mistake of blending up. Maybe you'll go really light with it and not do the same look I did. And maybe you'll never reach for these two shades out of the entire palette because the rest of the palette seems fine from what I've used so far. Like everything else I've used off camera besides these two seems to be okay. I have not used these two though. So I've used everything except these two right here. These two I didn't like. Well, especially this one in particular. But the fact that I can't give my honest opinion on the product without getting crap for it, that I'm a hater or I'm jealous or I hated it from the start, I was against this before I even had it in my hands, is bogus, you guys. It's just crap. You can be super excited for an influencer and you know you can actually love the product yourself, but you may see someone who does a review and doesn't like it, and that's totally cool. It shouldn't be such a thing. I got the Beauty Bay Nikkie Tutorials palette and it was just okay, right? It wasn't anything like blowing me away spectacular. It was like fine quality, but it wasn't like whoosh, revolutionary or whatever, you know? And people give me crap for that too. So I decided not to touch that palette anymore. It made me not want to use the product, and that's something that really sucks. It's like I was really excited for this, right? Which is why I wanted to buy it on launch and everything. But then people suck the fun out of everything. Them fun suckers are like, oh, you can't dislike anything because it's her. I don't agree with that. I just don't agree with that. And you know what? If I tell you there's something wrong with this product and next time they come out with a palette like this, it's better formula, that means they're listening, and I really like that. If you keep telling everyone everything's perfect, even if it's not, I'm taking this shade for my lower lash line, then that's how things don't get better. That's how things don't get, you know, progressed in quality and formula. It's just going to stay the same forever. I think it's important to take the facts and be like, well, I'm really excited for this person and I really wanted to support them. That's why I bought the collab, and I think the color scheme's pretty, but there's just one flaw with it. And that's how things get better, and then the next time there's improvements. I cannot sit here with good intentions and sit here and be like, well, it's a fantastic, most perfect palette, no flaws, perfect, stunning, beautiful. Kristi, put me on your PR list for your next launch or whatever because you're doing so well and people love you. That's what people do. Like, I can't do that. I'm going to tell you if it's good or not. So I guess the moral of the story is, let people be honest with you, you know? And if you disagree, you don't like, it's fine. You don't have to agree. I'm going to take the Mycelium Super Shock from her collection and put it on my lid, and then the Marigold thing for my eyeliner. But I think if you disagree with someone on makeup products, it's fine, but it's really pushing me away from reviewing influencers stuff, which sucks because I want to be supportive of people in my community, and especially people who aren't part of like the 5 people who always get collabs and stuff. I love like supporting other creators, because if I ever have a product, I want, you know, some support in the community too, but I don't want to be lied to on quality if it's not great. So I guess that's it. Like, everyone asks for influencer reviews and like influencer review influencer products. However, when there's a disagreement on quality or you dislike anything, it really shows people true colors. And I really thought, like, I guess this is a generic statement to say, RawBeautyKristi fans would be cool, calm, and collected and understanding. I mean, she's very understanding of things. Even when she has a bad experience with a product, she says what's good about it too. Which is what I tried to do. And also this liner was just so good. I said that, but no one acknowledged that in the video. It's a really good liner for them because their normally liners are not that great. But yeah, people were vicious, I guess. So I will not be doing a 3 looks video of this palette just because I didn't even want to touch it again after getting all the comments on my first impressions of it. But I wanted to get this off my chest so people like know that not everything is going to be perfect, and that's fine, but you have to allow people to give feedback and disagree with you on stuff. No, I'm not gonna say everyone. So many reviews, I mean, especially things that were PR, I think, just because that's the nature of it, which isn't always true. Some people get PR things and think it's absolutely terrible crap, and they're truthful about it, and I appreciate that. But a lot of things that are reviews right now are people praising the PR from an influencer they like. And they're really talking about how much they love Kristi. And you can see in a couple of videos, because I examined it, okay? You can see them really struggling with a couple of the shades to get them to blend amazingly, but they don't talk about it, or they do a huge chop of the blending process in their video. And you can kind of tell it did not go the way they planned on the look, especially like on the outer portion of the eyes with the darker shades. But nobody wants to acknowledge that, so I don't know if it's people lying on accident because they're super excited about the product, or it's people who are just super scared of RawBeautyKristi fans who praise the product. So I don't know. I'm not saying anybody's lying because I believe everyone wants to be honest. I like to think that anyways, but I do think there's probably bias in there, and I don't think it's okay to harass someone for giving an honest opinion. So I'm gonna go pop on some lashes now, finish up my face. I'll be right back to show you the finished look. But this is the eyeshadow right now, which is just super neutral and a little bit of yellow in the waterline. Alright, so I added lashes. I actually decided to skip lipstick today just because, like I said, my lips want to peel. And I don't want to put them through the torture of that today. And I also think my lips have like a little bit of pink from the lip balm I'm wearing, so I think it's okay. So overall, this is the look up close, which I just created. And I think it's very cute. Like this I have no issue with. I think it's really pretty. This one especially is more blended and nice, and I like the gold in the waterline. But overall, I must say, like, I feel bad about making this video, honestly, because I feel like I'm just complaining about comments the whole time. But I really think no one else is going to do it. You know, everyone else is just going to keep, I mean, ignoring it, I guess, if they get bad comments too. Or we're not going to call things out that I see, which is like, yes, you may love this influencer, doesn't mean every product's gonna be absolutely fantastic, perfect, amazing, and you shouldn't criticize people for disagreeing with you on a product if you were just watching this video. So I wanted to say that. One last thing I wanted to do in the video is also compare it to Jeffree Star's and Androgyny palette. I just totally dropped this thing, by the way. Let's compare the color schemes a little bit. I don't think it's worth, like, all the things I hear about it. I hear Subculture and Androgyny, the two palettes people compare it to. Here is a picture of Subculture right next to the RawBeautyKristi palette. I actually decluttered my Subculture palette, so I can't do the swatch comparison for you if I wanted to. But here is, I guess I'll do it like this, the Androgyny palette and the RawBeautyKristi palette. We do have a similar gold shade. This one's way more yellow. We have a cool tone brown shade in this one, which is slightly similar to the cool tone pink in this one. We have the orangey, yellowy shade. We have the kind of bronzier shade, but this one doesn't have a shimmer. It only has the matte, so we have the matte, which corresponds to this matte right here. So we don't have this shade right here and there. I also would say that the pink in this is too much of a stretch to say it's the same as that color. We have the purple here, which we do also have in this palette, but it's much warmer of a color. We do have a red matte, which we also have a red matte right here in this one, but it's much darker, so I don't think those are the same red mattes. We do have an ivy green color in this one as well as in this shade right here. We do have a bluey green shade, which is pretty similar to this one as well. And we also have this blue matte shade, which is similar to this shade right here. So these are switched on the bottom shade, but they are, these last three and the last three on this one right here are decently similar, just in the wrong order. We do not have this black mattes in the Androgyny palette. We do not have this cool tone blue shade. I mean cool tone brown shade. We don't have this cool tone brown shade anywhere. So they do have a lot of similar colors in here. I feel like I get the vibe of this time, like 2017-ish is when I would say this palette came out, I think. That's the vibe I get from the RawBeautyKristi palette. It does feel like something that would have came out a couple years ago. These do have a lot of similar colors in there, but they're not exactly the same. Like this green shimmery shade definitely stands out as something I would definitely see more nowadays. So they do have a lot of similar shades like we discussed, but I don't think they're the same, but it is a very similar palette, honestly. Just slightly different and a little more modern twist on this one. So I just see what people are saying with the comparison, but I don't think it's identical by any means. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Let me know what you think of the comparison as well as how people are acting about this palette in the comment section down below. If you think I'm whining, you know, I try not to. I'll try not to do it anymore. However, just because an influencer made it doesn't make an actually perfect product. And Colourpop's my favorite brand, you guys. I don't want to knock Colourpop if I don't have to. They're my favorite freaking brand. So anyways, thank you guys so much. I will see you in the next video. Please stay safe out there, and I'll see you later. Bye.